Hi, I'm Michael Keller. I'm with Dodger Media Online. Your first meet is very soon. How are you all preparing for this competition season?
So we're all practicing every day at the Y. Um, Fiona can talk more about the practices because she's there every day as a non-club swimmer, but all the swimmers are working super hard in and out of the water to get ready for our first meet against Chatham.
Our coaches are preparing us every day. They're trying to get a lot of the new swimmers because Madison brings a lot of people who don't even know how to like dive or do flip turns. So we're kind of like working on the basics and just getting back in shape.
So I'm Ben Preston, also with Dodger Media Online. So I've been told there's a lot of new freshmen who have recently joined the team. I'm just curious how you think that has shaped the team dynamic this year and maybe has prepared the program for the future.
I think it's always interesting when we get new freshmen because I know our freshman season for all of us, there were a ton of us, and we had a lot of really good swimmers. But I think the addition of freshmen builds the program itself and also just adds diversity to the team because you never know what person you're going to get, what event they're going to swim, and sometimes you can get someone who's insanely good and really brings up the team average at meets. So it's always very interesting.
So a large part of the competitive swim season is the club season. So with that being said, if you take part in that extra competition, how do you balance the work for each team?
So I can speak to this because I am a club swimmer. So club and high school swimming are very different. High school swimming is only from the end of November to like the beginning of February, and the practices are like 1 hour after school, 5 days a week. And club swimming, we have like maybe 3 weeks off the whole year, and practices range from like 2 to 3 hours every single day. So, and that like the competitions will take us to like we're traveling for competitions, like we're going to like nationals for that. And so as a club swimmer, you only have to go to 6 high school practices. So I go to my 6 every year, and then I mainly participate through meets, and I'll go to the occasional practice because I focus on going to club practice in order to improve.
Sure. I feel like for club swimmers, it's definitely a lot less work and more like easygoing for the high school team, and it's more fun. You're racing mostly your friends who you might swim club with. Like for example, Chatham has a couple of club swimmers, and so you're racing your friends, you're having fun, you're with a team in like a dynamic atmosphere. So it's it's less stressful than club swimming.
Yeah, it's like much more easygoing. Like high school swimming, like it just matters if you like the place that you get, and like it's just a lot more fun. And club swimming is all about like the time and making new cuts, and it's a lot more stressful.
Owen, you were part of the team that set the school record for the 200-yard medley relay. So now that you've lost 2 seniors from that squad, who do you think is going to fill that spot? And how do you think that you're going to move forward with that relay team?
So we're not entirely sure yet because we haven't had any meets yet, so it takes a little while. Anuthra and I will Anuthra Abasing, he's a sophomore, and I will definitely be on the relay, and probably Jack Chemley, who's also a sophomore. Evan, you might be on the relay. We have a few freshmen coming in. Spencer Rosenbaum, who might be on it, but we're not entirely sure yet. It takes a few meets to figure it out.
So this question is for the Madison girls swimming. So you were seeded 3rd last year in your season's playoff. Now going into this season, are you confident for the team's ability to compete at the same high level?
I do feel confident. I think we definitely lost a few swimmers who were really good and brought the team up, but I think that this year we have a few freshmen who are good club swimmers, and I think a lot of people improved from last year. So I think we should be fine, and I'm confident that we'll do well and improve throughout the season.
I also think there were a lot of underclassmen that have been working really hard the past 2 years, who I think wanted those seniors positions in those better events. So you can see that like their wheels are turning, they're competing with one another, and they want those spots. You can tell there's a lot of hard workers. So I'm confident that our girls team will be in a good position.
So now that you're all in your senior year, how are you guys stepping up as leaders, and what additional responsibilities does that bring with it?
So we work a lot with the booster club to like encourage team spirit and everything. So this year we're bringing back like team dinners and everything like that. And I'd say that the swim team is pretty close. The coaches also work with us, and our captains last year were really good, and they definitely worked really hard to include everyone. We do something that I know they do in other sports called like Sisters and Brothers, where like you're partnered with a freshman and you like give each other bags before meets, and like we're just trying to get closer with the team and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 years haven't really been normal because of COVID. Like, even last year we were wearing masks the whole time. So, like, we're hosting, like, our first team dinner, like, Fiona and I are hosting it with one of our other captains, Bella, next week. And so just opportunities like that we haven't had in the past. And we're always communicating with the Booster Club and running the Instagram and stuff like that.
Big role for the seniors is like loosening up the atmosphere. As freshmen, you kind of come onto this team and you don't know anyone, you don't know the coaches, but you're expected to perform, and so it's hard to perform when you're stressed out about what you're going to do. You don't know anyone else on the team, so as seniors it's kind of a attributed role to make it more lively, make practices more fun. Crack jokes once in a while. And so, yeah, definitely a fun role to play.
So the boys and girls teams train together but compete separately. How do you find unity between the teams, and do you consider yourself separate teams or one team?
Even though our results are scored separately, in my opinion, it feels like we're always competing as one team because, like, all of our, except for our meets against like for boys against Del Barton and girls against Villa Walsh, all of our teams were always competing against the same school. And like for me, like it's always like a girl event and then a guy event and then a girl event. So like when I'm getting ready to swim, there's a girl in front of me and a girl behind me. So I'm talking to them, like getting ready. And obviously like we want both of our teams to win. So I think of the team as like all one team. Like we all go to support. If one team gets further and seats than the other, like we're all going to support them regardless.
We also all practice together, and your lanes aren't determined of your gender, it's just how fast you are. So I know me and Fiona are in the same lane, and we usually have like 3 or 4 guys. And I know from personal experience that the meets when the girls are at Villa Walsh are always less fun because of the lack of the guys team. Just because that's how we were raised in the sport, where we do everything together. So I would definitely say the teams are one.
Thank you very much. That's all from us.
What made you join the Swamily?
For me, when I was younger, I did really competitive swimming, and I didn't like it because it was too much for me. But freshman year, a lot of my friends were like joining the team just for like to do a winter sport, and I tried it and I ended up really liking it. It's very like a relaxed environment, and it's more just like for fun than like you don't feel pressure or stress to like do well.
Yeah, like all my friends, when I was in middle school, I swam with a lot of high schoolers on my club team, and they all did high school swimming and would talk about how fun it is and how relaxed it is compared to like the long club practices. And I decided to join Madison because like my friend Artha, who's a year above, like was doing it and he really loved it, and I've also had a really good experience.
So I've been swimming for a while with the Madison Community Pool Barracudas, and I've always liked that environment. It's this racing environment where the meets are lively and fun, but you get in the water and you're swimming against your friends. And so the high school team really embodies that. Definitely a little bit more to it than the Madison Barracudas team. Older swimmers, obviously, high school swimmers. And yeah, it kind of embodies that lively atmosphere. It's lighthearted and a lot of fun, so I joined the team.
I also was a competitive swimmer for like a year, but we all swam on the Barracudas, so I feel like we've all been around water for a long time. But my sister was on the swim team and she loved it, and I joined with some of my friends, and And it was great. I love the swim team. I love the coaches. I don't think we really talked about them. But Nan and Mo are great. And it's just the best place ever. And I'm being serious for anyone watching this. Join the swim team. Please.